Good morning, everybody. As you can see, we are doing something slightly different today. I've been wanting to do something like this a little more, showing you my life a little bit for quite a while now. And today our kids don't have school, so made it a little bit easier to be able to do this, not try to get ready for work and everything at the same time and trying to get ready to do a vlog, and also share a couple of things that have been on my mind lately. I've noticed some things that I wish we would have known, or kind of a different mindset that we would have come here with, that would have helped us just having a little bit of an easier start. I figured there may be so many other people as well that might like that. So a couple of things to consider that could be very helpful. I absolutely love my morning walks to work. I take care of the store while my husband is dropping off kids typically, and then our business partner during the time that takes him a little longer to get here. So someone needs to tend to the store, which is typically my job, and then very often over lunchtime because the other two also have other things to tend to. So it is absolutely gorgeous around here. So the number one thing that I wish we would have considered more, or had more of a mindset, like been steadfast in it from the beginning, is the difference in currency. And this is going to be for a lot of people that move anywhere. The currency is something to get behind, and very often, especially if it's a cheaper country to live in where the cost of living is so much lower, then you're just thinking, oh, this is like comparing it to the dollar, for example, so much cheaper, like I can just relax a little bit. I wish we would have not relaxed as much as we did. I mean, we didn't very much, but I still always am very easy to see where we could have cut back and budgeted. I wish we would have budgeted, kind of talked to people about what are some of the cheaper meals to make around here, because some of the ingredients that I was used to can get here, so cooking is a little bit different. Just first of all, observing prices and then comparing prices of different meat, which the meats and the name of the meats is something to get used to, how to shop for that, what is what, and then also go according to that and put together kind of a, I really like to put together a price per meal, and that way it helps me kind of see what do we need per month and stay within that range. This past month we only went over just a slight little bit from our total budget, which I think was really good. So that is something to keep in mind. Just because cost of living is cheaper doesn't mean go and live however. And yeah, just something to keep in mind. Also, with housing situation, renting, which was our initial intention, and that did not work out as planned. It was really hard to kind of get into a place quick. I wish we would have had someone look for something ahead of time, but we didn't do that. We wanted to look around more first. And houses here are built so different, and no two houses are built alike. There are no building regulations and such, so that makes it a little bit more difficult and also something to consider. So there's a lot of things to look for in a house, kind of how is it built, and get to know it. So you kind of want that situation before, be able to see those things before you commit to purchasing or building your own. Mornings typically are a little bit slower, so that gives me a little bit of time to just hang around a little bit, and as long as I'm there for customers and such. So in the meantime, we're gonna keep this going. One thing I forgot to mention about housing and rent and such, when it comes to that, I know it's very easy to think that, you know, got X amount of money and I can afford X. Say if you have an income coming in somewhere that is from outside of the country, then it's very easily to just adjust to that budget. But just to kind of keep in mind of the local economy as well, there are some places around here that are way overcharged for rent, and that is because they can. There's so many Europeans and such coming in, but that also does something to the rest of the market. It drives it up just slightly, and this very easily pushes locals out of the market. This is something they've seen in Ho'ono, and I heard in 2021, I haven't confirmed that this actually happened, but I did hear they actually started not letting so many Europeans in because Ho'ono was getting flooded so much with them that it drove the prices up and kind of drove a lot of the locals out of the market, which makes life really difficult for them when they've already been trying to just keep going in life and build up a bit. It makes it more difficult than what it really needs to be. So that's something to keep in mind. Even if you can afford it, negotiate. Even rent is always negotiable. If it is going to be on the market for a couple of months, then I have noticed that they will actually price drop places even up for rent just to try to get someone in there. So always negotiate, especially housing and vehicles. And also, like I mentioned earlier, there are no building codes around here, so it is something to keep in mind. You can't always compare one house to the other. You can't compare what is the price of this compared to the other, because you really have to go see it in order to kind of get a feel of what is the quality of the building overall, and then compare it to the price that it is and compare others just like that. Compare the quality of the build or what you can see just by having a look at it, and then the price, and then take that and compare it to another one with the quality and the price as well. This is why it's so much more common for people to just go for building their own house around here, especially the people that come back from other places that have already lived here in the past. This whole development is full of people who have either returned, and then the other ones, they have come out of the Birktail colony, and almost all of them have built their own house here in this development. And right now what is it, 9 or 11 houses? I forget a little bit, I counted the other day, but they're all people who have had it built themselves and run that, which you also need to keep a very close eye on when building a house to make sure it's getting done properly the way you want it, and be firm on what you want, because they're always going to try to cut a little bit of corners here and there to make it a little bit cheaper as well, and just do it the way that they are used to. Anyways, things have been different the last couple of weeks. We've experienced some things that we had not before, and it's been kind of nice and refreshing. Actually, also again ties in a little bit with something that I wish we would have known ahead of time or thought of ahead of time. I never thought to join an expat group on Facebook or anything like that, but I would highly, highly recommend that. And it's just a nice place to kind of, from an outsider's perspective as well, from people who live here, who have lived other places, help you know what to consider. The last 2 weeks is the first time that we've actually met up with others that we've met over social media that are coming here to visit. They're coming to take a look around and just kind of see the country, get a feel for it. And some of them are getting their documents processed. There's 2 couples that we've been talking to lately. They both found me on YouTube, so that makes me even happier that I even started this all together in the first place. We've been really enjoying getting to know them, talking with other like-minded people who they just understand a little bit better of why we would move here, why we love the simple life here. I mean, others do too. This just gets us connected more with other like-minded people, and it's been so nice. One of them actually is in the process of purchasing our house, which I mentioned a couple of weeks ago on a video that we are looking at doing that, selling the house. And so they saw the video, they emailed me, asked questions. We've been talking about it, how it's built, all sorts of things. A change that we're in the process of making in the store is going from the old-fashioned pen and paper route to having everything in a system. I've already put in so much of our inventory into the system. We just got to finish that off because we've been adding a little bit here and there, selling out of some things here and there, and giving it a real good clean, and then we can get started on that. It's going to make things just a little bit simpler, easier to keep track of. And yeah, business is ever so slowly picking up as these neighborhoods around here grow, and more people are aware that it's not worth going to town. We used to always go to town to go grocery shopping because we figured this tiny little place, they gotta have prices higher to make it worth it. So we actually have been comparing prices, and now that we are at a point where we are, where the store is pretty much full, we can get everything here that we need. We've managed to stabilize the prices to a point where they're competitive with the ones in town. So that is very nice to see. It is definitely going to be a huge benefit in the future. Right now, it's not doing enough to carry the company, but we have our foot in the door to the neighborhood, and we are the only store that offers as much as what we do within 5 kilometers. Anyways, that is it for today. I know it was a lot. Maybe it was all over the place, but thank you for the patience, and keep following for more. I'm hoping to do a little bit more of a glimpse into my life and how we do things, and take you along a little bit more. Let me know if you like that idea, or if you like what I've been doing up till now, and if there's ever anything specific that you are curious about, let me know. I'm happy to answer questions. Yeah, like and subscribe, turn on the bell notifications so you get notified when I upload.